this committee and for this because I'm the vice chair of this committee.
All right,
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, the Leader of Majority. Any other honorable member?
Thank you, Chair. My name is Ezron Kipngeno. I'm representing the great people of Chilchila in Kipkedian West. I'm a friend to this committee.
Okay. Secretariat, introduce yourself to the nominee.
Good afternoon. I'm Sharon Maybe, Deputy Clerk, Legislative Services.
My name is Billy Cheriot, Clerk to this committee.
My name is Kibet Peter, the Legal Officer.
My name is Kipkuru Bernard, Research Officer.
Jerono Winnie, Legal Officer.
Mercy Chekemo.
Justice Maritim, Sergeant at Arms.
All right, thank you. Myself, I'm Dr. Patrick Mutai, Chairman Appointment Committee, as well as the Speaker of the County Assembly. So, Geoffrey Korir, you are welcome and congratulations for being nominated to this position of the selection panel to recruit the County Secretary and Head of County Public Service. So for purpose of record, Geoffrey, now that the Leader of Majority is here, and I heard the Honorable Cheriot bit saying that it's a new face, I want to declare that Geoffrey is not a new face to me. He's known person to me, a friend, but that will not affect the vetting process or the suitability process that we are doing this afternoon. So Geoffrey, you are most welcome. Thank you again. And I'll give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. And when you introduce yourself comprehensively from who you are, where you come from, what you do, and now that you are here, why are you here? How did you end up being here? Out of the very many people in this county, God has been gracious enough that you are among the few individuals who shall recruit the county secretary if this county assembly approves you to be part of that selection panel. So probably when you introduce yourself including your education, background, experience, and I want to believe by now, should you be approved, you know the task ahead of you. County secretary, of course, I expect that you know now who is a county secretary, and what will you be looking for? In your final introduction, maybe you'll tell this committee what kind of an individual will you be looking for to be the county secretary of this county. Should you be approved by this committee? So just the basics introduction, and then maybe you can just touch on that. Then from there I'll open the floor. You can proceed, Geoffrey, when you are ready.
Thanks, Chair, and good afternoon, members.
Sorry, just to confirm, I'm sorry, Geoffrey. Geoffrey is here, you are here representing ISPAC, is it?
Yes.
For purposes of record, the Secretariat, please note that, so that as you go through the original documents, you can confirm the designation. So thank you, you can proceed.
So once again, thanks, Chair and honorable members. My name is Geoffrey Kipkuru Korir. In terms of my age, I'm 42 years old. I come from this town, that is Kericho. Specifically, in terms of the sub-county, that is my constituency, I come from Soin Sigawet. In terms of the ward, I come from Sigawet ward. Sub-location is Kiptere. In terms of My profession.
Maybe chair, small interjection.
Okay.
Maybe chair, a small interjection, chair. One of our panelists here, Honorable Kiproti Irawan from Sigawet chair, he says he is seeing the nominee for the first time, chair, and the nominee hails from Sigawet ward, Sigawet location, chair. I think if you can allow, chair, can you kindly give it also to Mr. Rogwan maybe to say something, chair, if you permit.
All right, the Honorable Kiproti Irawan, before you respond to that, perhaps maybe you'll tell us whether you never know the leader of majority. Maybe the Honorable Kiproti Irawan lives in town, so probably or the nominee also is in town. So, but anyway, of course, we have the documents with us here, the ID and everything, so to confirm that. But maybe, Rogan, just before we give him, okay, you can confirm that, because
Okay, the Honorable Chairman, first of all, I'm extremely delighted now that the nominee comes from my ward. I come from a location called Cheptuyet, that is the farthest end, and the nominee comes from the farthest end of this other side of the ward. I can confirm to this committee that if I've ever met the nominee, it might be that I've never recognized him. We've never interacted, he can confirm. But I'm extremely happy because I've been going to functions to Kitere, church, we've never met. Maybe because of the work-related issues, because I'm learning that is now the CFO, Judy Kilima, and these officers might not be in Kericho, it might be elsewhere. But I'm really, Chairman, I'm very happy. I'll get to know the nominee from here henceforth. I can now declare a conflict of interest that the nominee coming from my ward will not affect my role as a member of this committee with regards to the work that we're going to do. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you, thank you. The Honorable Chair, yes.
Thank you, Chair. As a matter of curiosity, Chair, I know so in Sigawet, they have a group called Sigawet, where Honorable Irawan is a very active member of that group. So maybe I just wanted to ask the nominee whether he's a member of that group, because, Chair, I can know any other professional, in fact, any other residents of my ward, whether he lives in the farthest corner and I come from the other farthest corner, I always know them. But for Soil Sigawet, they have a very active professional group. I want to nominate to confirm whether he's part of that professional group.
All right, thank you. So as you introduce yourself, Geoffrey, I hope you have noted the sentiments of the honorable members. Just introduce yourself, and then maybe you can touch on those questions that have been directed to you. Honorable members, let's allow now the nominee to introduce himself, and then from there we will take other questions from that. Proceed, Geoffrey.
Okay, thanks. Once again, Chair, thanks. Maybe just to also comment is that we indeed have not interacted with my MCA, apart from the normal functions that he would normally be in attendance. But maybe just to go back to my introduction, as I mentioned, my name is Geoffrey, 42 years old. I'm married to one wife. I'm a father of 3 boys. As chairs highlighted, I'm a member of ISPAC, having joined ISPAC in the year 2013. Member in good standing in terms of attendance of all the professional trainings that ISPAC does. In terms of my experience, I have basically been an accountant throughout my life. I cleared campus in 2006. Then immediately after that, joined Total Kenya as an accountant. I was there for period of about 2.5 years. Then I joined Nation Media Group, still as an accountant. After Nation Media Group, I joined Orange, then Telcom, the stroke Orange at that time. Then from there, I went into the banking industry. So I've worked at Equity Bank as a reporting accountant, then as a deputy CFO at EcoBank. From EcoBank, I joined a microfinance institution called Lechego until recently in the month of September last year. That is when I joined Juhudi. At Juhudi, I'm the CFO, and I'm based in Nairobi. So that's where my office is. In terms of the other matters about myself is I've also done, in terms of my education background, I did a degree in finance, BCom accounting from Kenyatta University, after having cleared my secondary in Nakuru High School. I've also done a master's, an MBA in finance from the University of Nairobi. Regarding what had been asked about whether I'm a member of the Soin Sigawet professional body, I am not a member of that committee, but I am a member of the other. I have another social professional body for Institute of Certified Public Accountants. I'm also a member of another forum for the CFOs, but that is basically not based here. I have a few members basically that are also from this county, but not the one for the Soin Sigawet professional body. Regarding the task ahead, as Chair mentioned, I'm well aware of the task for the being part of the panel that would then oversee the appointment or the recruitment of a county secretary. I have been able to go through basically what would be expected of the county secretary, being the head of public service as well. What interests me about this position is I feel as a profession that if there's a way I can do to contribute in terms of the development of my county, the county that I held so dear, then I feel that this would be a chance for me. I don't necessarily need to work for the county, but if I have a chance to contribute in terms of the recruitment of that very critical role, a position that basically would be looking at all the public officers across the 6 constituencies that we have as a county. I think overlooking more than 2,500 staff, for me this is something that I would really take a lot of pride in, and I would really feel that I would have contributed, albeit in a small way, to the contribution to the development rather of my town, or rather my county. Yes, whether I am aware of the task, the involvement that this job would entail, I think I'm ready for it. As much as I'm based in Nairobi, I believe that I would be able to create a lot of time. I'll be able to dedicate my time to be able to attend to any meetings or any requirements that would fall into this position. The other thing that I think is important was to note is the fact that this is a position that would basically be, taking minutes for the CECs in terms of the meetings, implementation, cascading this down all the way to all the staff. This is a position that requires a lot of integrity, I think, as part of the qualifications for this position. So I'm up to the task, Chair and honorable members, if I'm offered this position. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you, Geoffrey, for that comprehensive introduction. Before I open the floor, just some few clarification. Number one is looking through your documents. We have 2 set of documents that are missing. That is tax compliance, I'm informed, and also the clearance from DCI. I don't know whether that is the true position or you have them with you there.
Sorry, Chair, I have them here.
All right, thank you. Then you can hand over, then we can proceed. And then finally from my end is that I like how you have explained that you are aware of the task that is ahead of you in recruiting the county secretary. As a citizen of this county, I don't know whether you are aware that the reason why this is the second panel being sent to this county assembly by the governor, given that the county secretary that was recruited earlier was impeached by this house, and subsequently the governor had to release him. That's number one. And just as a matter of concern, given the weighty allegations that have been leveled against him, in fact, which was now confirmed by the report of the county assembly, because already there is an adopted report by this house. I'm more concerned that I don't know, maybe just an observation from your comment, from what has happened or what happened previously, because it seems that the role of the county secretary being in the county government, and more so the immediate county secretary that was impeached, there was hue and cry by the staff that perhaps maybe he didn't understand his mandate, he overstepped during his duties. I don't know, what is your just as a concerned citizen, I know you heard of what happened in Londiani. The main allegation, the main matter that led to the county secretary being impeached was the accident that happened in Londiani. So I don't know, probably should you be approved by this house and subsequently you recruit county secretary, maybe using that experience, what will you advise the new county secretary to do? Maybe perhaps first you should respond by responding whether you know why you are here and how you are, and how and the reasons that led to you being here, because we had a panel before and now we have you again here. So should we approve you, you will recruit the county secretary who will be the second one in this regime. Just comment and observation and maybe future advice to the successful candidates.
Thanks, Chair. So I believe myself the most important thing in terms of recruitment for such a public office would basically be, the most important would be integrity. And I like what the county has done in terms of bringing on board different professionals to then be able to look through the process. Personally, for instance, representing ISPAC, I think one of the key things that ISPAC advocates for is integrity. I personally would easily lose my ISPAC license, for instance, if I am not able to, do my job diligently. So I believe from where I sit that the most important thing would be the onboarding process, to be able to really get that real good candidate, and of course do a lot of due diligence in terms of the background checks, whether this person has the specific recruitments, rather the specific qualifications that a head of public service stroke county secretary should have. So for me, I think it is just more of, putting up policies as a county that would really guide us in terms of what would be the expectations of the new person. Having that panel, and by extension, of course, I'm sure that the process would also be passed through the chambers, that is the MCAs, but just to look at this and constantly have checks. And I believe my role, for instance, or the panelist role should not end at just recruiting this person or just giving them an appointment letter. There would need to be checks and balances that needs to be input. If it is quarterly, for instance, if there's going to be a committee that would basically be reviewing. In my current role, for instance, we have something called KPIs, key performance indicators, that I would need to speak to almost on a monthly, quarterly basis to say with my boss, or by extension now, for instance, the governor, because I believe this position would report to the governor. These are my key deliverables that I need to be doing. I may not be able to talk so much about corruption, because I think that is one of the key things that keeps ailing us. But if there is a way we can then be able to put up controls to ensure that, okay, fine, this person cannot be able to do certain things on their own, because there has to be some procedures to be followed. So Chair, that I believe is one of the key things. And as I said, the onboarding process for me needs to be very thorough. We need to do a lot of due diligences. We need to query the past of these people. Where have they been? Look at their history. Do a lot of reference checks. If this person is working, we need to get a professional that possibly has everything to lose in case they get into shoddy deals or corruption. So that's the Chair. That's what I would say. And public participation, I think, I believe a county like Kericho, for instance, as much as I may not have a lot of details, we should be able to have some whistleblowing mechanism, and this possibly could be done independently. We recruit some institutions so that we can be able to get some reports to even just check not only the county secretary, but any person that is holding a public office, because we stand to lose a lot as an institution or as a county if we do not do a proper recruitment. Thanks.
All right, I think that is well explained. Let me now open the floor. Honorable Cheriot, the Deputy Speaker, and then I'll give to the Honorable Eric B. I'll suggest that we take 3 sets of questions. Maybe you can note it down, Geoffrey, so that you can respond after the third Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chair. Let me take this opportunity from the onset to congratulate Geoffrey Korir for being nominated by the appointing authority to appear before this committee for vetting. Geoffrey, I like how you did respond on the kind of a person that you are going to sit as a panelist to recruit. The county secretary, whose position is now vacant, was removed from office through an impeachment. Fortunately or unfortunately, we did approve a panel, just like what we are doing today, to vet that county secretary. The county secretary had all those other requirements that is required by Chapter 6. In fact, he was even a pastor. You can imagine, a whole block of a pastor. When we saw that he's a pastor, we did approve him immediately. But whatever things that he did in that office is unspeakable. Some of them we cannot even speak on camera, because some of the witnesses that we called during the impeachment process, told us issues that we cannot even speak of. Even the church members, they did open up. Now that if you are given this opportunity as a panelist to recruit the new county secretary, leave alone the Londiani saga, there was Kazim Tani, there was sexual harassment in various departments, because you know that position requires someone who has 10 years experience, you know, someone who is above board. What are you going to do extra for going even beyond the integrity issues, so that you make sure that we have a person who is going to run the county public service, you know, with a lot of seriousness? What that thing, the different thing that you are going to do that the other panelists never did while they were giving us that other guy. We had a doctor, by the way, for county secretary, but you know, he took the hand of this county assembly to save this county of what he was doing. So what is that extra thing, that unique thing that you are going to bring into on board to make sure that you give us someone who is above board? Then finally, you come from Sigawet ward. It's a matter of curiosity. How many wards do we have in this county? Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you. Sorry, the Honorable Eric B.
Thank you, Chair, and and also allow me to just make a declaration that Geoffrey is my neighbor. That is Kiptere.
Kiptere. Is Kiptere part of Sigawet?
It's part of Sigawet, but so that is why I pass all the time, daily when I come to town. That is my route. So Geoffrey, we are giving you, or you are doing an vetting process for you to sit in a panel of selection. I don't know whether you know your roles when you will be doing that exercise of selection of a county secretary. So I know from your presentation and your CV, you did a becomes finance option, and there's a unit in Department of Finance that there's an HR. So what happens when you are doing recruitment now? You are going to put in place the county secretary, and there's a process also for dismissal. How will you do if I may ask you, what will happen if there's a gross misconduct? What will happen in that process until a county secretary is dismissed from the office? So maybe you can take us through, because you are doing recruitment, and of course when you are doing recruitment, there's also part of dismissal in any case of gross misconduct. What happens? Who will do the dismissal? Where does this panel, or who is the most person who can dismiss the county secretary from office? So maybe you can enlighten us on that process, so that, of course, you are aware the county secretary who are there were fired. Maybe the process and procedures of doing the same. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you, the Honorable Maritim, and then we'll allow Geoffrey to respond. Honorable Maritim.
The Honorable Chairman, the Honorable Maritim has given me the opportunity.
Okay.
I think he will be part of the second lot.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Once again, Geoffrey, you're welcome to the Committee on Appointments, and congratulations for being nominated to the selection panel that is going to interview the possible appointees to the office of the County Secretary. Geoffrey, we have what we call County Governments Act, Section 69 stipulates the redesignation of officers, and it goes on to highlight the procedures of what to do. One of the things that sent home the former holder of the office was a scenario in which an officer who was an assistant director was removed or was deployed from that office to a junior position. In law, it is not allowed. What he did also, he picked a director and made her to be the sub-county administrator. In fact, in our sub-county. In any case, the former holder of that office violated the law. He went on to do the transfers contrary to Section 72(2) of the County Governments Act. You know, the county secretary is allowed to do transfers across the department, but not within the department, and that is the law. Geoffrey, Section 235 of the Constitution gives how the staffing is done in counties, and we have the County Public Service Board working with the county secretary, who is the head of the public service. The county secretary can, you know, supervise the disciplinary of a particular staff. I want you to, you know, make this committee believes in you, that as you prepare, if we approve you to sit in that panel to select a very suitable county secretary, can you tell us, with your experience as a CFO, there are people working under you and you do supervise them? And number two, even with your association with the ISPAC, which is a professional body, and I admired what you said in your opening remarks, that should you make a mistake, the same body can, you know, take away your license. It means you know the task that lies ahead of you. I want you to tell this committee how you intend to use your experience to get an extremely qualified county secretary who will streamline the public service in this county. I want to give you 3 cases. One, you realized the other day there were 3 people who were arrested in our county referral hospital. These are non-staff. But we have staff in this county who gave them an opportunity to work on behalf of them. When a whistleblower came up, they were arrested, and I believe they are still taken through the justice system. Number 2, we had in this county just the other day the controller of budget giving a case in point of a staff who registered a pay bill number and collected on behalf of the county. I mean, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation is going on, and this is an employee. I mean, we have in this county a staff who do not even report to work. I can give you 2. We have what we call the ward administrators. You are coming from Sigawet ward. You might not even know the ward administrator of your ward. I do not know who is the sub-county administrator of my sub-county. So that means we have a public service in this county that is broken down. What do you intend to do as Geoffrey Korir, who has a huge experience, that even as you prepare to sit in that selection panel, you convince this committee that indeed you're going to get us the best county secretary who will then change this county. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Before Geoffrey responds, we have honorable members who have joined us. Maybe for the benefit of the nominee, you introduce yourself, and then I give to Geoffrey to continue.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm Anthony Ruto, MCA Gitgele and Ward, member to this committee. Welcome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Vincent Korir. I represent the great people of Londiani. Welcome.
All right, you can proceed, Geoffrey. You can respond to those 3 sets of questions.
Okay, thanks, Chair. So in terms of the wards that have been asked for, in this county we have 30 wards spread across the 6 sub-counties that we have. The other question was basically in regards to how do we dismiss a county secretary in case of anything. So I believe like any other employment, this is not any different. So there's a process of hiring, which I think is what we've basically started. Then there's also the process in case of dismal performance or in case of any allegations, there is a process that would then need to be undertaken, i.e. The dismissal of a county secretary. So I believe we have the laid down procedures for us to be able to do. One of them is a motion. A motion would need to be passed. Somebody would need to propose. The expectation is you need to get at least 75% of the MCAs, if I'm not wrong, to give the nod. And then once that then is done, I think the governor would then have gotten the blessings of the MCAs to proceed and dismiss a county executive. But that has to then also be backed up by the real reasons why the chambers or the MCAs would feel that this needs to be done. So that basically would be the process. In regards to what my MCA Rogonyi was asking in terms of what exactly would I be able to do to ensure that we get the best candidate. And first to also note is that yes, I do have people that are reporting to me, and as you rightly said, Bwana Rogonyi, we have to really take care of our staff. There must be a HR policy, an act that needs to be followed, just to ensure that you cannot move people from different job groups unprocedurally. So there must be a guide that would need to be followed, just like any other normal employment, private sector, stroke the county. But basically what I would be able to do is, as I mentioned, I have been involved in recruitment of staff. As a matter of fact, currently I sit in the HR committee, and where I also go all the way to the board to basically discuss about the issues of staff, the issues of pay, because being in finance, for me, recruitment and everything else that goes with it, that is the pay and everything else is important. So what I would then be able to do is, with the experience that I have gotten in terms of the recruitment, first of all, the most important thing would then be we need to do as a county is to attract a reasonable big pool of potential candidates, so that we just don't, it's like pre-qualification of suppliers. You would not benefit if you only have one or two suppliers. So the most important thing would then be, as a committee, as a panelist, we need to ensure that we have a sizable pool of candidates, and that talks to even the job advert that we are going to send out, be it in the media, be it in whichever form, even if it is the website. It has to be very, very clear and very specific on who we are looking at. So the specific qualification, the specific roles that position needs, together with the job description, needs to be very clear, so that at the onset we don't also just proceed to attract unreasonable people. So once then that is done, then we go through the process of ensuring that this is the case. During the physical meetings that we're going to be doing, undertaking with the panelists, if I'm successful for this role, as I've mentioned, it would be very important for us to ensure that we get somebody who has proven experience. We have a lot of ways of looking at it in terms of, as I mentioned earlier, if we are going to do some reference checks, if we are going to even get to a point of doing some psychometric. At times, some of the candidates can actually be, we do some psychometric tests just to ensure that is the case. And following that, I think, as I mentioned earlier, the most important thing would also then be, we need to be able to do a lot of checks and balances, even if it is periodic, just to ensure that this person is delivering on their mandate. I'm sure our MCAs, the 30 or so representation of the wards, should be able to do as part of their checks, and to look at this person and ensuring that the specific things, the specific tasks that this gentleman or lady is going to be doing is just to ensure that that is delivered. I think that could also be related to the first question that had been asked about what extra thing that I'm going to do. So as I mentioned, with that experience that I've gotten over time, having recruited both locally and internationally, as I've mentioned, I've currently been involved in the recruitment of our board members for one of the subsidiaries that we look at. Prior to this current role, I was also involved in terms of the recruitment of the board directors. So I've had both experiences, I would say, in terms of recruitment of my peers, that is the EXCO recruitment of my junior staff, and also on the other side of recruitment of my senior. So Chair, I believe those are the questions that had been asked.
Thank you. The Honorable, so that you are done. All right. Is it, are you engaging the nominee?
No, I'm not engaging the nominee.
No, because he comes from Sigawet.
Not at all.
Oh, I thought he has sufficiently
very well, very well.
Sorry.
You know, Chairman, I'm raising, what I'm going to raise, I see the nominee understands what you wanted, and that is what, based on his presentation. You remember, Chairman, we were here the last. We vetted the selection panel that resulted into the recruitment of the impeached county secretary. My only question is, Geoffrey, suppose you deliver the best nominee, but the appointing authority, which is the governor, selects somebody else outside the recommendations you've done as a select committee. I want you to tell this committee what you intend to do.
Okay. Let's pick one question from Maritim, the Honorable Maritim. I don't know whether that one, Geoffrey, you will attempt to answer that one. The one that has been raised by Rogon later.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, proceed.
I want to ask the nominee, Geoffrey, how did you find yourself here?
Okay. The Honorable Vincent Korir.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I would like to ask a candidate a question. When you are selecting the county secretary, suppose you have two candidates with same qualifications, similar qualifications, and same performance. How will you pick the best candidate out of that? Again, how will you assess problem-solving skills of those candidates and the integrity of the candidates? Thank you.
The Honorable Anthony Ruta.
Thank you, Mr. Korir. My concern, or our concern as a county, is identifying a substantial person who will sit in that very important office. A person who will be able to, well, how will you safeguard yourself from any external influence so that at the end of the day, your work cannot be compromised as a panel?
All right, thank you, the Honorable Anthony Ruta. Geoffrey, you can respond to that.
Thanks, Chair. So first question was what I would do if the governor decides to nominate somebody else. I think I may not have a lot of control on that. For a fact, I would have done my job in terms of proposing the candidate that I feel that would be the right candidate for that position. I know it's the prerogative of the governor to to possibly have the final say in terms of that. So I may not have a lot of say on that. I would have delivered. It's just like saying I nominate this person to be an MP or an MCA and he doesn't win. I think the most important thing would really be my satisfaction personally that I did the job that I was mandated to do as a panelist. The other matter was in terms of identifying a candidate that has problem-solving skills. And I think related to that was if we have two candidates that ties. I believe that you may not really get to have candidates that would really tie, because my thinking is, and I'm sure we'll be guided, is there must be a way of doing the rating and the scoring. There would normally still be that extra thing that we will be able to pick or suggest as a panel. Should there be two people that would basically be tying? Could possibly be the past experiences, could basically be, be something extra that they have been able to do. So I really don't think that there would be, but in case there is such a tie, then I think the proposal would then be we'll proceed and give out the two names, because I note that that panel will not be the final decision making. In terms of how I got myself here, as I've mentioned, I am a member of a WhatsApp group on ISPAC, and there was a mention that this position of nominating a panel. So what then I did is, because I'd expressed interest, as I'd mentioned earlier, I think I really feel that with the experience that I have, it's time for me to make a contribution to this county. So when I saw that, I actually came all the way from Nairobi, and then I made that application and dropped my CV. I think the other issue was how do I get myself out of conflict of interest and not to have any external influence. So for me, I think it's always my principle that should we get to a point of we have the nominees or we have the candidates, and there could be a potential conflict of interest, just I think has been stated here by the honorable members, I should be able to also confirm that. And in case I feel that that candidate could have a lot of influence on me in terms of the interest, I would gladly request to possibly not participate in terms of, or at least not to vote in terms of forwarding the name of that candidate. For me, external influences, I think it is something that it's not something that can happen for me. If I feel that there could be a potential of influences to come, I would gladly tender my resignation as part of this panelist, because I don't believe that I would get to a point where there's a candidate that would want to influence me in whichever way, or even if the panelists have somebody that they would want to advocate for, and it's not something that I would want to do. I think I would gladly just say thanks, and it was good to have even gotten to this level. So Chair, I think that would be my position. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Geoffrey. Honorable members, looking at our time, and we still have one. Oh yeah, the Honorable Lezeron, I've seen your hand is up. As a friend of this committee, just one observation or question, please. Make it one.
Thank you, Chairman. I have just one question, or maybe, just a question, Chairman. Congratulations first, Correct, on your nomination to sit in the panel in recruiting county secretary. The reason why we previously had issues to do with the previous county secretary, despite the fact that he was qualified, is that he was recruited in a manner which was predetermined. So the panelist was going to just only rubber stamp or to recruit as per the wishes of the appointing authority. Now, because you are a distinguished according to your explanation in your career, you must be a distinguished professional. And you know you are doing this for the sake of our county. What will you do if in a manner now that you are going to sit in that panel and the appointing authority have told you that in all whatever you are doing, you are going to select, make sure that this person make to the final list. Number 2, will you be able to share with us as a panel the qualification of how all the members, all the interviewees you will interview? Will you be able to share with the assembly how the names of the qualified members you submit for appointment with the authority? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Geoffrey will respond to that briefly.
Okay, thank you. So I think, Chair, and I'd actually mentioned this is in terms of if at all there would be a predetermined candidate that maybe would be given to us in whichever way, either impliedly or expressed. As I'd mentioned, I think I will just do my job in terms of getting the right candidate, but should that be persistent, or should that get to a point where I feel that this would give me some undue pressure, I think, as I'd mentioned, I will not be willing to take that position. I'll just express my concerns. I'm sure there would be some protocols in terms of the chairperson of that panel. I will just decline the position. I will always be very objective in my position. It really means a lot for me to have a bad leader, quote unquote, because this is not a position that basically you just want to, to guess or to just give somebody for the sake of it. I think the other one, in terms of, if I got your question very well, I think what you possibly meant was maybe what would then be the qualifications of this position. And I have seen that in terms of the requirements, and which would really basically also come from the advert, but basically in an overview, we need somebody who has more than 10 years experience. This is somebody who has a degree in relevant field, be it business management, be it a profession and member of a professional body. This is somebody who also needs to have a master's. And in terms of the integrity, I think those ones are not to be discussed. They must be somebody of high integrity. So I don't know whether that was a question. Okay, so I think that I'm sure there would be a way that would be guided as a committee, but definitely I think we should be able to follow that. I'm not preempting anything, but I'm sure possibly that the expectation of that panel would possibly be give us X number of potential qualified candidates, and that should be very clear in terms of the report that that panel, if I'm successful, would then be able to forward this to the government through the chambers.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. I think that is, honorable members will agree with me that Geoffrey, you have responded to the comments, observation, questions. I think in a manner that is satisfactory to some of us here. But nevertheless, we want to continue to wish you all the best. Maybe your final submission to this committee before we release you.
Thank you, Chair. So I think mine would just to say thank you for giving me this chance. Hoping that my contribution to this panel, if I'm successful, would be felt. So thank you, Chair, and thanks members for giving me this chance. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Geoffrey. We wish you all the best, and once more, congratulations for being nominated to this selection panel. So thank you. It was a pleasure having you, and the committee now shall proceed with the necessary steps, and thereafter you will get a communication from us. So have a good evening. It was a pleasure hosting you here.
Thank you.
All right. On the leader of majority, I know you because of time. Can we agree that the last nominee be here now? Yeah. So Sergeant at Arms, you escort Geoffrey, and ensure you give him a cup of tea or coffee or any other form of drink that this county assembly offers to visitors. Thank you. Call the next nominee. I don't know. Welcome, Hilary Kipkirui-Rotich.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, Sir Hilary.
Yes, Chairman.
Is that Sir Hilary? Okay, then as you provide your documents and the original certificates, then you just give it to the Sergeant at Arms, and then we shall proceed with the administration of oath. Now that I have confirmed that Hilary Kipkirui-Rotich is one Sir Hilary that is known to me, and I have declared my interest, but it won't affect what we are doing here. So, yes, the legal, let's administer the oath. Hilary, step forward.
I, Hilary Kipkirui-Rotich, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
All right, thank you so much, Hilary. That is a matter of procedure. Before you is the appointment committee of this County Assembly of Kericho, and I will request the honorable members to introduce themselves to the nominee. Yes, starting from my far right. And in the process, if there is any interest, you declare.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm Anthony Ruta, MCA Kipkelian Ward, member of this committee. Welcome, Mr. Jazz.
Thank you so much, Chairman. My name is Francis Terer, MCA from Cheboin Ward, a member of this committee. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Chairman. My name is Vincent Korir. I represent the great people of London. Thank you.
Chairman, I'm Philip Roll, the leader of majority, the vice chair of this committee. A member representing the Kamashian Ward in Kilian West.
Thank you, Chair. And my name is Ben Cheruyot. I represent a ward called Ainamoi in Ainamoi sub-county. I am the Deputy Speaker, County Assembly of Kericho. But more importantly, I'm a member of this committee. Chair, I want to declare interest, Chair. And you know, Sir Hillary hails from Ainamoi ward. We schooled together. He's a schoolmate. We went and pursued the same profession at the university. And you know, he's a teacher like me.
You schooled together where?
Poyuek, the school that has produced men and women of integrity. Chair, I'm a very happy man. He's one of the few people that the ward of Ainamoi has ever benefited from any appointment. I want to declare interest, but I want to assure you, Chair, that knowing him, coming from the same village together, schooling together, working together in Poyuek Secondary School some time back while we were at the university, will not affect the undertakings of this honorable committee, Chair. Welcome, Hillary, and I wish you all the best.
All right, thank you. Honorable Kiprotich.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Honorable Kiprotich Rogon. I represent Sigawet Ward in Sigawet in sub-county. Chairman, at this point in time, I can also declare conflict of interest. Sir Hillary is a long-time friend. A while ago, the Honorable Cheruyot talked about a professionals forum in our sub-county. Is a member who's really been supportive through the group. This is somebody we've worked together for a long time. But at this point in time, even as we deliberate on your nominations, it doesn't, our relationship doesn't affect my role as a member of County Assembly. I welcome Sir Hillary.
All right, thank you. The other honorable member in the House, Amicus Q.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Ezron Kibnena. I am representing the great people of Chilchila in Kilian West. Amicus Curiae to the committee.
Okay, it's okay. Proceed, Secretariat, introduce
Good
yourself.
afternoon. Sharon Mibe, Deputy Clerk, Legislative Services.
My name is Billy Cheruyot, Committee Clerk. My name is Kibet Peter, the Legal Officer.
Pachikorir PR.
Kipkuru Bernard, Research Officer.
Sharon Owini, Legal Officer. Mercy Chief Kemo, Internal Auditor.
Sachinata.
All right,
Just
thank you. Okay, thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, the honorable members and secretariat, for introducing yourself. So, Hillary Kiruiro Teach. So, myself, I'm Dr. Patrick Mutai, the chairman, Committee on Appointments. Just as a matter of fact, is that Hillary Kiruiro Teach is here representing the Association of Workers in Kericho County. Is that the case, Sharon? All right, so you verified from the documents. That is the case, Sir Hillary, is it? For purposes of record?
Yes,
you are
Chairman.
here. Oh, yes, exactly. All right, thank you. Now, as we continue checking those documents, I will now request Sir Hillary to introduce himself. Sorry, Hillary Kipkuri to introduce himself. And you introduce yourself comprehensively from who you are, where you come from, what you do, how you ended up being here, and now you can relate your experience, your educational background to the task ahead of you. Now that should this House approve you, you will be part of the selection panel that will be recruiting the county secretary and head of county public service of this county. Yes, honorable members, I can confirm that we, as Hilary Rotich represents workers, and specifically he is the assistant executive secretary currently, is it? Yeah, so thank you so much. So maybe chair. Yes.
Before the nominee introduces himself, Chairman, out of curiosity, Chair, maybe is to ask, Chair, from the introductions of ourselves, Chair, it seems though all of us, we know Hilary Rotich, Chair, is a very key person in the teaching fraternity and in the welfare of the teachers, Chairman. But I consider the depth of relationship between the Honorable Cheruiyot Bett to that of Sir Hilary to be so deep, Chairman, to a level I think Honorable Cheruiyot Bett ought to have excused himself from this panel, Chairman, because you see the relationship together with the interactions with the nominee chair might influence the findings of this committee. If, with permission, Chair, if you can still give to Honorable Cheruiyot Bett to reaffirm that the findings of this committee will not be influenced by his closeness to the nominee chairman before we proceed.
All right, I don't know, Cheruiyot Bett, it seems the leader of majority is doubting your objectivity when it comes to establishing whether the nominee before us is suitable for the position that he has been nominated to. Maybe I give you a minute just to respond to that, and then I will give direction on the same.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to inform the leader of majority that the Constitution is very clear. It doesn't bar someone from. It was only by God or God grace that we come from the same village. You know, we went to the same school, we share the same background. And for your information, Chair, when I did my KCPE, Chair, I got a letter of admission from Stare Boys and Center, Chair. But because of lack of fees, there was a school called Poyuek Secondary that we all met. Sir Hilary, I know he had also a letter from a provincial school, but because of the background that we share, we never had the resources and finances to go to those schools. So we agreed, we made a conscious, broad daylight decision as a ward that there is a school called Poyuek Secondary School that has always united us, Chair. So that, as I say, the reason why we declare interest, Chair, is that although I know Sir Hilary, and it's not only myself, even the Honorable Agonya said, he has contributed a lot in Soil Sigawet, where he teaches, Chair. Okay. So that will never impair my judgment, and maybe, Chair, I think I have declared interest.
That is enough.
Will never, that interest, Chair, will never interfere. But, Chair, I know he's a performer. I will give him his rightful share because I know he will perform.
All right, thank you. The majority, I hope you are satisfied now.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think based on explanation from the Honorable Cheruiyot Bett, I am now satisfied, Chair, that he will not influence the findings of the committee.
All right.
Though he has alluded that before we even further the nominee, he has said he will perform. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, thank you. You know, leader of majority, I was almost asking you whether you have how gaugeometer, is it that you will gauge the depth of the interest. Anyway, so Hilary, we will proceed in the manner that I had directed you before, that you introduce yourself to us, And then, of course, you know the reason why you are here. So you will link maybe your experience as well as educational background or anything else that you want to tell us to the position that you have been nominated for by the governor. So from there, and then we shall just pick a round of questions from the honorable members, and then we shall finalize. So Hillary, you can proceed in that manner. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Hillary Kipkirui-Rotich, as introduced. I was born in Ainamoi Ward, a village called Cheblil, 39 years ago. I attended Chepkoyo Primary School. Later did my KCPE at Kamelilo Primary. Also joined Poiwek Secondary School, as indicated in my certificates. Later on, transitioned to Moi University, where I was admitted to pursue a Bachelor of Education, Arts, specializing as a teacher of English and Literature. Graduated in 2009, December, and had a chance to be employed by Teacher Service Commission the next year in 2010. I have served the Teacher Service Commission now for the last 15 years. And besides teaching, my first station was Cabo Cake Day Secondary School in Soin Sigawet, where I served for 13 years. I was later posted to Kipsigis Girls, where I've been teaching till a few months ago, when I was transferred to Kaitu Secondary School, also in Soin Sigawet. Besides teaching, I also serve in the union. As indicated, I'm here for vetting, representing the Association of Workers. I serve in Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET. I registered trade unions with Registrar of Trade Unions, and we represent teachers that teach in secondary school and tertiary colleges, like we have one here, Kericho Teachers College. I've been in the union for the last 8 years. In my first term, I was Soin Sigawet representative on teachers' welfare, a term that lapsed in 2021. Then we went for elections again in 2020 February, where I was elected now in the county office as the Assistant Executive Secretary, serving Kericho County. So I transitioned from Sigawet Soin Sub-County Welfare Rep to representing the teachers of Kericho County as the Assistant Executive Secretary. We do a lot in the union. We look into the welfare of teachers, the rights of teachers, the rights of our members, and we negotiate on behalf of our members with the employer on matters of salaries, benefits, like health benefits, and how healthcare, Medicare, facilities that provides health. And we also represent our members whenever there are disputes. So I'm sure I'm in this panel as a representative of workers to look into a nominee of the county secretary who has a vast understanding of labor laws, someone who understands the job as the head of public service, someone who understands how to take care of the people who serve under him, so that at the end of the day, we have a motivated workforce that delivers to the people of Kericho. I must also say I'm married, a husband of one wife, a father of many. I'm a member of AIC Kenya. I've served previously as secretary to the local church, and I'm currently serving as the chair to the local church council, AIC Torit, and also sit in the district church council. Chair, I'm also a member of Rotary Club of Kericho, where we give service to the community. I served in 2021-2022 as the director of New Generation under Rotary Club of Kericho, especially when we started, because the club is still new in Kericho, hardly 5 years. And I've served as a director. We have had projects across the county. We have built lavatories in our nearest primary school here, not far from here, and even assisted persons living with disabilities in the areas of Chebewor in Londiani sub-county, among other activities that we've been able to do as Rotary Club of Kericho. I must say I appreciate you've given me a chance to be vetted as a member of the selection panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, our nominee. Maybe before we open the floor from the introduction, I must thank you for that section. Number two, maybe a question before I open the floor is that now I'm seeing you are appointed to represent the workers in this panel, and that now I know we have so many workers in Kericho. What do you think is that one thing that the appointing authority saw in you until you are appointed and not the rest of the workers? What is this exceptional thing that you think you possess that the appointing authority saw in you, which maybe they didn't see maybe in other workers of Kericho County?
Thank you, Chair. I must say I appreciate the consideration by the appointing authority to be nominated into the select panel. I would say there are many reasons that the appointing authority would give as to why I was picked, as opposed to many other workers. But as Hillary, I know I have given my best in my area of expertise, both as a teacher, as a member of community, as a member of the church, and as a member of the labor movement. I want to believe that is what has given me a better impetus to be here today. Thank you.
The appointing authority have recognized your efforts.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Now, honorable members, it's now my opportunity. I think before I open the floor, we expect to use, we still have only around maximum of 20 minutes to interact with the nominee before we release him. And now that he has done extensive introduction, I expect that we direct the questions and also direct the nominee that stick to the questions directly, because we have a very short time to interact with you. I think next time, in case you will find yourself in this house, we will take the longest time next time, but this time round, I think we will restrict ourselves to 20 minutes. That is enough for us to know you. So from my far left, starting with Honorable Jerry Bett, can you kindly pose your question? So we'll be taking a round of 2 or 3 questions as you write down, then you will answer all of them before we summarize. Thank you, Honorable Jerry Bett.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I will not tire by congratulating Sir Hillary for making it this far. Chair, my question is, I know you are aware that the position that you've been vetted for is so that you go and, interview the county secretary. The county secretary that was there before was removed from office by impeachment by this county assembly. We sat here previously to approve another panel, but by that time probably we erred as the committee because we didn't take the panelists through this rigorous process. Now that you are here, what kind of assurance will you give to this committee if this committee gives you a green light to proceed and vet the county secretary? What is that assurance that you are going to give us that the person that you are going to pick and send his name or her name to His Excellency the Governor for nominating him so that he sends the name to the County Assembly, is that person that is above, above board. Leave alone the integrity issues. The County Secretary that we had before, gave us all what Chapter 6 required. But then, we got the opposite. You are coming from, as one of the panelists from the Workers' Union. I know you've been fighting for the rights of teachers, second school teachers or postgraduate teachers. Now, the kind of a person that you are going to interview is a person that is going to be the head of county public service. The kind of a public service that we have currently is demotivated. Give us assurance, especially, I know the governor picked the right unionist to this panel. What we need from you people is to assure us that once we give you this opportunity to proceed, what is that unique thing that you will go looking for while you will be vetting the county secretary? Number two, if the appointing authority, for instance, we are in a political environment, we cannot shy away from politics, and it is good because you are also a politician, but you're a politician from the other side, teachers, because you also go soliciting for votes. If the appointing authority, for example, directs you that the person that I want is so and so, what will you do if that happens? Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Cheriot. Let me give this opportunity to Honorable Vincent Korir, a member representing Londiani, where the nominee said he has done some work through Kericho Rotary Club. I think he has tried to in one way or another. So kindly pose your questions.
Thank you very much, Chair, and I do appreciate the work that you did with Rotary Club. It's commendable. I will only ask you 3 questions. It's not hard questions. Maybe you'll cover it comprehensively. Because you will be in the panel interviewing the candidate for county secretary, I would like to know from you what will make you disqualify a candidate that maybe you think might not qualify just by first instance. Again, the skills, because what we are interested in is the skills for the candidate. What kind of skills, especially maybe the technical skills, would you prefer to see in a candidate so that you can be able to have the best candidate to serve this county? And again, lastly, how will you ensure that you are fair and impartial during this process of recruitment so that you can be able to ensure fairness and get the right candidate who qualifies by merit? Those are 3 simple questions that maybe you can cover it comprehensively. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I have a set of 5 questions. Number 1 is on the qualifications of a CS beyond what is indicated in Chapter 6. So one, I know the Constitution is clear on the basic qualifications of a county secretary as a citizen of Kenya, an holder of a bachelor's degree, 10 years experience, relevant professional experience. Those are basics, and even at least having 5 years leadership experience in a senior management level. But beyond that and beyond the indications of leadership and integrity, I believe the role of the panel is to look into this person or persons that will be nominated to the appointing authority, because the Act indicates that 2 names should be given to the appointing authority. The role of the panel is to do referencing, to look into the background of these persons at the end of the day, so that I have assurance that if we go beyond the basics, there will be red lights, there will be indicators especially if we go 5 years, 6 years of professional life of these persons that have been nominated, we'll be able to know how has this person discharged his or her duties previously in his or her portfolio, how has he interacted with his workers, how has he kept his workers motivated. So I believe the role of the selection panel that I will sit in, if approved by this House, is to do proper background check of the nominees before they are handed over to the governor. Secondly, there's a question on the influence of the appointing authority. What happens if the appointing authority insists that person A should make to the final list? I must indicate clearly that as a professional of many years and also being under oath, I will adhere to the rules and the regulations of professionalism. I will not be influenced by external forces to pick a name or two, either by a governor or anybody of that interest. Because you're under oath, and whenever you're under oath, you must do the right thing. So I give this House assurance that I'll do the right thing. Number 3, Mheshimiwa Kurira has asked, what will make you disqualify a candidate? I've previously indicated the basic qualifications of a candidate. So if that candidate is not a citizen of Kenya, then he's not qualified or she is not qualified. If he doesn't have a degree from a university recognized by Kenya, they don't qualify. Those are the basics. If they don't have the relevant professional experience from whatever work they've done or they've never been in leadership, then they are not qualified. And even the basics of being able to identify themselves, they don't qualify. So that panel will not interview that person. Number 4, what set of skills does the candidate of a county secretary should have, especially the technical skills? From the worker's perspective, I'm looking for a person who is a good listener. Because remember, most of the time, the reason why workers are not motivated is because no one listens to them. So I'm looking for a good listener. I'm looking for a person who has empathy, who can feel for the worker. Because we have many workers, as you've indicated, right from the skilled to semi-skilled, and they deserve to be given the rights as workers of this county. They deserve to be motivated so that they perform optimally. So I'll be looking for someone who listens. I'll be looking for someone who has empathy. I'll be looking for someone who is a good communicator. I understand the county doesn't have a lot of resources to pay in terms of salaries. But as this county secretary nominee, have ability to communicate that to a point that the workers would understand and still perform their duties as required. So I want someone who communicates well. And of course, as we've said, a person who has people skills and human resource skills. Those are the technical skills I'll be looking for in a nominee for the position of county secretary. The last question is on how will we be fair and impartial in recruitment. Chairman, all candidates that will make their applications, once an advert is made, during vetting, they deserve to be heard. So we give a chance to everyone who qualifies to be vetted or interviewed as a nominee for county secretary. In terms of being fair and impartial, I want to believe there's a question on a conflict of interest. Yes, we shall be fair. In case there'll be any conflict of interest, I'll be able to declare, just as the honorable members have done here. But I'm sure that that conflict of interest will never affect the duty that I will be undertaking. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sir Hilary. Closing remarks. Do you have anything to inform this committee?
Thank you, Chairman. I must appreciate the fact that you've given me a chance to be vetted today by this Honorable House. I commend the good work you do as an assembly. And finally, I should appreciate the hospitality that I was accorded when I came here. I had a cup of tea as I was waiting to be vetted. So I thought that was something that is worth mentioning. Thank you so much, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Sir Hilary. On behalf of the committee, we want to wish you very well in your current and future endeavors. In case you find yourself in the panel, we still request and insist that even as you do the interviews to various applicants who will be applying to sit for the same job, remember the people of Kericho. Number two, just also remember that this house did impeach the previous county secretary out of several malpractices. So don't be one of those people who will give maybe green light to those people who will disturb the workers of this county, somebody who will steal the resources of the people of Kericho and other things. There being no other business, this session stands adjourned, and we want to wish you all the best. The
Thank you.
Sergeant at Arms will escort you. We want to wish you well. Thank you very much.